The Plant Council, Forest Relief of Missouri, Forest Keeling Nursery, and the Department of Conservation are all joining together to host this year's Calorie or Bradford pear buyback program. Homeowners can cut down one or more of their pear trees to receive a free non-invasive tree. You can spot the invasive trees thanks to their very dense clusters of white flowers they have before their leaves grow in. When removing the trees, the agencies recommend getting a professional to handle the cut down.
If we can reduce that count, the habitat improvements will increase the native plants for our native insects and birds and mammals that need those plants for their normal food sources.
Registration opens this Friday and will be open for about a month. While you're encouraged to cut down multiple pear trees, each household can only get one free tree in return. The goal is to educate people about the problems caused by the invasive trees.